All right, so my wife and I were thinking about adding a wall right here to separate and make this back section a bedroom for our boys, and this little section right here will be a entertainment room. Stay tuned and I'll show you how to do it. So the first step we want to do is take out our stud finder. I know that I want to put the wall like right in here, so we'll just start off here. There we go. Mark the bottom of the baseboard. So we know that this is our center mark for our stud, so what we're going to do is put this straight on the wall like this. And then I'm going to put a laser on here and run that laser going straight across. And then I will use my tape measure to measure off that wall to here. And we'll get the same distance, and then I'll cross-reference it and make sure that it's square to the wall in there. Okay, we're at 180 3/4. The same here. 180 3/4. Right. So here's the center mark that we made earlier. Just want to make sure you get this plumb. And I mark my line there. Then I'll just set the bottom here. Make sure it's plumb here. Draw my line down. Now I have my reference line going down. What I've done is I went ahead and laid out, I found the flattest board I could get, 10 foot long. Got the center of this board centered with the center of the stud. So I went ahead and butted it up, and then you can see I ran straight across there, touching to the other stud. And that'll give me my perfect line. And I've already went ahead and checked diagonally across to make sure that we are perfectly square, and we are. So we're ready to begin cutting this out, the baseboard right here, so we can fit our wall going up and around. Next, what we're going to do is just got our board out here going across. We're just going to cut on both sides of the board, the carpet. All we do is just keep on cutting right along through here where I scored this line at. See, as you can see, went ahead and tore all that out. I'll just clean up this, vacuum it out real good, and get ready to nail in the bottom plate. Okay, I've already went ahead and put my bottom sill plate, and this right here is really good to get your angles. All you do is push it up both sides against both sides of the wall like that. And if you look here, it'll tell you miter cut, use inner scale. The inner scale is going to be right around 22.5. All right, I had to go ahead and pop off this trim. All this is going to be ripped out anyway, but the board that I just cut right here for the 22 1/2, all you do is just use the same board. And you notice it's a perfect fit. So there you go, there's your angle. So now we're gonna put a laser down here on the bottom plate, shine up, and that'll give it, make sure we're plumb here, vertical. I'll show you. I went ahead and used my laser here. I put at the very edge of this board down here. So it'll go ahead, and this is going to be the exact edge where I need to be. So I just place my board there like that. And that's perfect. So now I'll know that my studs going up for the wall will be perfect. They'll be perfectly plumb. Also, another way to tell is you can use a 6-foot level just to double check. Mark your line up top. This is the GPL2 laser. You just put it on the very edge of your 2x4, mark it, and then you'll see the dot up here. So what you'll want to do is mark the center right there, that dot. Take your little square here, mark your line. So this is the edge of your 2x4, and you'll know, you can take a little block like this if you want. You don't really need to make 2 marks, but you can, just to give you an idea. So this will be the center of your 2x4 going up. So that'll make sure it's perfectly in line and plumb. All right, real quick, when we were trying to find our angle for this stud coming up like this, touching here, the easiest way that I think is, once again, you're going to use this, but you're going to go ahead and make sure this is plumb. Find the plumb mark, so get it to where it's plumb. Right there, that's plumb. And if you're wondering, this is why I cut this single cut leg off, so I can get in tight spots like this. So that's plumb. You push this against it, let it out, try not to let it move, and I'm going to show you this right here. See right here, single cut. It is right on the 45 mark. So 45 degrees is what we're going to cut it out. Use the same edge as what you're measuring. You don't want to start off on the bottom right edge and go to the top left, because you're going to be off about 1.5 inches, because that's the thickness of the 2x4. Some blocking just to give it more integrity, support. So it's pretty easy to measure. 15.25 should be what all of them are. 14.25, 14.25. And if you don't have a mini level, just use your little square right here, speed square. All you gotta do is hit it till it fits perfectly up in there. So right there is a good corner, and that's a good corner. So if you just set the speed square right against this wall right here, this right here will tell you exactly. Do a little mark right here. So just take this like this, get your, and then hold it tight. And then all you're going to do is just hold it, this small side, right against this. and you're going to bring it, make sure the small side that I cut, the single cut, you can either use either or, but just make sure one of the sides is flush with the side of the drywall. And then you're just going to bring it straight up to where that little line you cut in here on the side. And then you're just going to make your cut like so. What you do want to do is make sure that this is perfectly plumb, which it is right there. So we're good to go. Start screwing. Alright, if you have a full sheet, you can go ahead and use this. This is really great. As long as this is plumb, this will be perfectly up and down. So you just find your center of the stud right here, and just mark a line down all the way across. Now if you come to this problem, see, we still have to put 2 more studs here, and this will be the door opening right here. So if you run into this problem, you don't have anything to screw into, don't throw away your scraps, because all you do is put, see this? Put your little piece of bracing line probably right there for each one, and you'll be good to go. You got something good to screw into. And then here's another little tip. When you're screwing in, sometimes when you screw in, it'll split it. So a little tip is if you put it in reverse and you just try to let it sit there like this first, then go forward, it won't split it. Now we have something to screw into right here. Now that we've got our first sheet installed, we're just going to take this angle finder, put it in there like that, and then we're going to just see exactly where we're at here. We're at a 45. Now we can use this piece for this side over here. So it's going to be the same angle. Oh yeah. There we go. And you always want to make sure you got your gun nearby. Starting to look like a wall now. Alright, so I'll go ahead and mark my lines going up like we did down here and finish screwing this in. Alright, I went ahead and removed this stud right here because I just started thinking I'm going to put closets over here on the back side of the boys' room, and I'm going to build a bookcase right here built in, but it's going to be a hidden bookcase door. So I'll make another series on that, how to build that. But right now I figured go ahead and move this over so it can move the bookcase over further. That way we'll have more room for a long couch to go to watch the TV. So. bracing for here. That's why you gotta have bracing. See that? No bueno. You wanna pull your wings. Alright, even first thing you want to do when you're ever messing with electricity is kill the breaker. Next, you want to take one of these little circuit testers and you want to just touch it. Make sure there's no current. Just double check. Always gotta be safe. So now that we know that's good, we're good to go ahead and start unhooking these wires. And see this red wire right here? This used to be the fan that we had here. But on the other room in there, I'm just gonna replace that 3 gang box with the 1 gang. Now I'm gonna go ahead and check and see if I can reach this in the attic. I don't think I can. I think it's blocked off. But either way, it'll be fine. I can just fishtail it around through this ductwork right here. And go up through this top plate right here. Basically, we're just finally got all the insulation done. We're just now putting the drywall on this side. I've got, as far as the light over here, I've got everything reran from the existing lights up to the new wires you can see going down the wall. It's going to go into the switch and it's going to get its power from the outlet down here at the bottom. But we'll go over that here shortly. Alright, so what I've done is I've ran this wire down, connected it up to the light, brought it down through the wall. I had to use a clothes hanger because I didn't have a fish stick. But anyway, a clothes hanger will work. Brought it down. As you can see, it comes out through the gang box, and you want to leave about 6 inches out. And what I've done here is, this used to be the electrical outlet, so I just unplugged it, took it off. You can see it right there. Took it out, ran a new wire right here into the back of this outlet. And I'm gonna put a plate over that and cover it up with mud. We'll put new drywall right here. But anyway, we're gonna make sure this is nice and sealed, but it's got a good connection. But before we seal it, we're gonna make sure that it's functioning properly. Make sure it's got a good connection. But it goes up, comes out there, comes through here, and up in here. So, you know, on this, to be able to run a new switch off of an electrical outlet, you just want to tie your grounds together first. We'll do that. Let me put this on tripod. So we'll go ahead and take tighten those up. Okay, and then we'll leave a little bit here for our switch. Now the neutral wire, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off the same length, strip it. The neutral wire does not go to the switch when you're running power from electrical outlet. This is the key. You're only gonna hook up the hot. So we can go ahead and tuck this back up in the box. The bottom one's gonna be the line. This top one going to the light is gonna be your load. So this right here is what I bought because the kids always leave the lights on. All right, got our ground. Make sure this is pointing up. Take the bottom line to the line, and we're gonna hook that up. Get some more connectors. And we'll take the other one. All right. Go ahead and push all this up in there. Okay, as you can see, it works. You need to check your building codes to see how far, but normally with us here in Tennessee, it's 6 inches from the receptacle. Put another one here. There, and that should do it. Okay, now I'll go ahead and fill this little spots up with insulation and continue on with drywall. Tell you about a line. 17 pallets.
That Fortnite's better King Kong and Fortnite's better Godzilla.
Ah.
That Fortnite's better King Kong and Fortnite's better Godzilla.
Yeah. It is.
The Godzilla's on the
Alright, first step, when you get your mud, just pour a little bit of water in there. Probably about a half of a bottle. Just want to start mixing it in there. And if you are doing this over some floors that you really care about, I suggest putting something down, but we're going to be tearing this carpet out and putting hardwoods in, so I don't really care. Alright, you're going to need a mud pan, 6-inch knife, and just regular joint tape. You can use the mesh if you like. I just use that, it's cheaper. Okay, first what we're going to do, knock off your edges right here like that so it doesn't squeeze out. You want to push it in there pretty good. The reason you want to use tape is because you don't want this cracking out over the years and you have to come back in and touch it up. A lot of people are kind of intimidated by doing this. I mean, I don't do it a whole lot, but I mean, if you just take your time, try to stay pretty even and consistent with what you're doing. You just take your tape and you take the center. This has got a crease in it. It's made like that to put inside corners like this if you want. I just try to get that crease right in the center of my joint. Like so. Go just cut that off there. Okay, once you get your crease in there, you just want to push this out. That. Try to get all the air bubbles out of there. Right there you can tell there's a little bit. And what you want to do is just take some mud. Just go over it. want to take off as much as you can because that's just less sanding you gotta do. And this sanding, this stuff is not good. And as far as the nail hose goes, you just wipe one direction, and go the other direction like this. Same thing will apply to the corner. Just want to bend this, get a good crease in it. Like so. And stick it up in the corner. Alright, once you get your first coat, you just want to go over. You want to go over everything, knock off any little imperfections. Then you want to go ahead with your 12-inch. We'll start down here and you're just going to do the same thing. We'll just continue to work our way down.